The following program contains strong language and adult content. Listener discretion is advised. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Damn right, we do it live. We do it live every week. We do it live and on camera every week.
I never thought that would be part of my life.
That you do it live on camera every week?
Every week, yeah.
That's awesome. You got mad skills, yo. What's going on, everybody? FUBAR weekly program. Thank you for tuning in. We do this every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States of America. Tampa, to be exact. I got a message coming in. So we're going to talk about some trash bag people tonight. It's been said that you look very pretty tonight.
Who said it?
Well, me, but the Kim said it.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some trash bag people. We're gonna get to those trash bag people pretty soon. Got something to talk about that's not so much a serious thing, but Dennis Newman, what's up, buddy? Lilabelle, Lexi, Frank, what's going on, dude? Hey, Frank, stick around. We're gonna talk about some shitbag people, and you know who I'm talking about, I believe. Shelly, what's going on? So first thing is actually not a negative thing we're going to be talking about. First thing is Dottie J, who is a singer based out of Orlando. I met this young lady. Actually, she's from Orlando. I met her at my show in New York when I was there a couple weeks ago. She was at the show. She's got a friend who's also a fan, and he told her, he lives out of state. He told her to come see my show because she happened to be in New York City. She came to New York City to see it, but she is competing to get a spot to perform at some big show. My phone's really taking a sweet ass time to load it in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start posting it on the FUBAR page. I want you guys, when you see it pop up after the show, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to do it after the show. But I want you guys to go and vote for her. She's a very sweet girl, excellent singer, just a sweet lady. She came to my show in New York, like I said. So, you know, she's part of the FUBAR masses, FUBAR fanatics. I'll call you guys. I'm going to dub thee the FUBAR fanatic. So support her. Dottie J is her name. So I'll start, flooding that onto the FUBAR page. So when you see it pop up, please go and give her a vote. If you can vote for her more than once, do that. If you can vote for us, CL Creative Loafing, Best of the Bay, for podcast and internet radio show. Vote for us. Vote for Nicole for Best Dancer. Just get out and vote, because if you don't vote, then some fucking people
they win.
Then they win. I don't know who the fuck they are, but I don't want them winning.
Those
rat bastards.
Them. They thems.
They thems. So your week was good, Nicole?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good.
Booked myself a gig, which I'll talk about later.
Yes.
Picked up adult coloring again.
Nice. From the floor in the hallway, which was awesome.
What else?
Wendy!
Sold costumes. Booked a couple of Halloween gigs this week.
Nice.
That I am partaking on costuming with. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got to tell this story real quick. So Nicole's got this little newspaper in front of her, and as we were coming up, I had a letter in the building, so we were coming up to my office, and there's a stack of these in the hallway. I have never in my life heard someone get so excited about newspapers, and her response to me giggling was, "I love periodicals." That is the best fucking thing I've ever heard. Vintage Variety for best burlesque.
Yes, that's Lilabelle and Alistair's show.
Okay, well now here's the problem I have. K2 Lemieux is also for best burlesque. So what I think, well, here's the thing. Here's what I think we need to do. No, actually, I do one better. I have multiple email addresses, so I'm voting for everybody. But here's the thing. I think this would be better. We need to have like a burlesque off. See which one's actually better. See, now the problem is, though, with them, there's two of them. and one of them's Alistair. So that's just, that's a tough gap for K2 to pick back up on. I'm just kidding. I actually do. I have been voting for all of my friends that are nominated for something, except the only category I am not voting at all for is best comedian. Not only because I wasn't nominated and nobody thought to nominate me. Well, probably because I suck, but the reason is because there are so many of my friends on that, and
better not piss anybody off.
Yeah,
extra.
It's called a live show, and you're invited.
Oh,
Okay. I like live shows.
That's what Leela Bell said.
Yes, and I like being invited. So, good talk about trash bag. Let's get right into the meat and potatoes of what's got me all angry today. Okay, hefty. We need a big fucking heavy bag for this. So, in this comedy industry, there are comedians, there are bookers, / promoters. We'll call them. I'll use that word interchangeably. And some bookers are phenomenal people that really do look out for the comedians and try to help them get booked and get seen and get noticed, and they'll help out and they really care about the people that are that are working for them. And I'll give some examples. Just two guys that I've worked with up in New York, Julius Donat and John Butera, two guys that have always been right up front, right on the money, honest. Julius had booked me for a show, and just due to my scheduling, I had to cancel out. But I was advanced enough; it wasn't like the same day. And he's like, "Oh, I have a show the day before. I'll put you on that one." And that cool as shit, absolutely fucking awesome, great dude. So if you happen to see him promoting a show, check him out. John Butera, of course, I love John in a totally platonic.
Yeah.
Or maybe not totally platonic. All right, but no, I love John. He's a great guy. There's another promoter on Long Island who originally when I started doing comedy and was going to start doing shows up in New York, he approached me before John did and wanted to put me on a show, but he was very vague about dates and location and how much I was going to get paid, which is kind of important when you're doing a show. Still so New York, I love it. You love that, right? Wendy's awesome. I worked with her many years ago. Wendy. Not like the restaurant Wendy's, although I love them too.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah, hi, Wendy. So anyway,
I'm listening because you're ranting, so I'm just listening.
Yeah.
So
John Butera, great guy and great friend. Frank, you're absolutely right. I don't think you and I have ever met, Frank. I'm not 100% sure. I live in Tampa. I come up there periodically. But anyway, so there's this guy. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll paraphrase. His name is Mick Dildo. That's actually not his name, and I'm probably going to fuck it up anyway, but I don't really give a shit. I'm not beholden to anybody. So if I shit talk somebody, I really don't fucking care, because there's nothing I will say on the air here or anywhere that I won't really say to anybody's face. Oh shit, I got to stop talking about John Butera. He's fucking here. No, I'm just kidding. So there's this fucking guy, and hey, what's up, you big fucking sexy son of a bitch?
Yeah,
so
platonic, I'm sure.
there's this guy. His name, you know what? I'll say his name. I don't give a fuck. His name is Mike Dillon. All right, and originally, when he first started booking, I reached out to some friends to get, what do you think of this guy? What do you know of him? And every person I spoke to, whether they were connected to each other or didn't know each other or didn't really talk to each other, every single person I spoke to gave me the same story, told me the same thing, and very specific things. So it's not just saying that, oh, this guy's a fucking shitbag, fuck him. It was, everybody told me specific things about this guy, and it was consistent from start to finish with every single one. So when I hear something like that, that automatically tells me, don't do business with people. I'm very particular about who I work with, who I want to work with. Not that I'm any fucking big shit. I just don't like getting fucked in that way. I mean, there are some ways that it's all right, but so I'm very particular about who I work with. And when you find somebody, and when I connect with somebody who I trust and who I know does the right thing, I will be fucking loyal to the end with them, as long as they remain upfront and honest and open and do the right thing and are good people. I will fucking be loyal and support them till the day I fucking die. This fucking asshole, Dildo, I'll call him, came at me with this, he was going to book me, but he was being vague, and John stepped up and he, locked me into a show, gave me details, and he knew what the fuck was going on. So, all right, cool. I'm going to do a show with John because it's first come, first fucking serve. This dude treated me and spoke to me like I was a fucking child. All right. Just horrible attitude, just a shitbag of a fucking person. And what's up, Brian? So, right then and there, I decided I'm not going to do a business with this guy. That same day, which happened to be a night we were doing the Foo Bar show, in the middle of the fucking show, my Facebook account got locked out. And the only person I could think of that would have reported, at the time, I had my last name as my first name and first name as my last name, so it was on there, Nelson Roger. The only person who would have reported me was that fucking shitbag. So as far as I'm concerned, that shitbag reported me to Facebook like a cowardly fuck. And I've pretty much avoided him nonstop since that encounter. I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't contacted me. I've done lots of shows up in New York, and they've all been great, and we've had a great time, and people have come, and it's just been great. So I got no use for the guy. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not gonna. He's out of sight, out of mind. But then when this whole thing with the Bagel Boy is tied into this, my fucking favorite person is shit talk. What's up, Mark? I'm talking about some shit people, some shitbag people. Mark says, "What's up?" You're just totally zoning out for this. So you can chime in and talk about shitbag people.
I kind of.
I'm giving everybody the background.
I don't know anybody I don't know any of these people personally, except for John.
That's all right.
And he's awesome.
Yeah, he's all right.
Hey, John.
He's all right. So anyway, also introducing to the story that shitbag Chris Morgan, the bagel store midget. When that first broke with him, I heard he was homeless. I heard he was living in a van down by the river. And, I heard the guy was in a real tough spot. So I figured, all right, maybe that definitely has something to do with him being a shithead the way he was. So me and Wolfinger actually reached out to him. We were going to put together a show for this guy and make sure he got paid, a large sum to help him out. He was homeless, living in a van in a bad spot. Me and Peter are kind, caring people. So we're like, all right, we'll do something, use the gift and the network we have to try and help this guy out. He's in a rough spot. He's, it turned out that he signed with these managers who formed a media company specifically to deal with this guy, who I would almost put money on are taking advantage of him. They probably told him, yeah, we're your agents and you get 10%. I would almost put money that's what it was. They've done events, but this guy keeps making videos that are misogynistic, offensive, and not funny. I mean, if somebody's going to be, if what you're doing is funny, I'm all fucking for it. Even if you're on the offensive, because I'm definitely on the offensive side. But what he's doing is just, it's cruel. He put out a video where some girl was in the car with him. I don't think you saw her. I showed you the video. He's in the ar with this girl, and I guess he took her on a date, and she just wasn't really that interested for whatever reason. Probably the fact that he's a filthy fucking shitbag. This is a post where he said he only does shows that pay $1,000. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. So he kicks her out of the car and, then tells her, oh, get back in. And as she's getting back into the car, he fucking guns it and drives around the parking lot, fucking leaves this girl. And it's snowing out. It's the winter time. Yeah, just a shitbag move.
Sounds like a lovely gentleman.
Yeah. And everything he says is negative, and that he's the next big thing and all this. And you know what? If he were to have had the video that happened in the bagel store, he was having a bad day, whatever. If he used the notoriety that came from that in a positive way to try and help better himself, instead, it just seems like it's amplifying his shitbagness. One thing I found is you give somebody money, you give somebody a little power, it's just going to amplify who they are. So if you're a good person, it's just going to make you a bigger, good person. If you're a shithead, it's going to make you just a bigger shithead. And it seems like that's the case is, he's doing a celebrity boxing. Actually, I reached out. I'm trying to get Lenny Dykstra to call in and so we can shit talk Chris together. It didn't quite work out for tonight, but I'm hoping before their boxing match, he's fighting Lenny Dykstra. You know what Lenny Dykstra is?
No.
It's because you're not from New York. Lenny Dykstra is a baseball player. I actually, as a kid, I remember watching Lenny play for the New York Mets. He won the World Series with them in 1986. So, I've always been like a Lenny Dykstra fan. And then he went to Philly and, he kind of had some personal problems, whatever. Facts, right? I only speak facts, Wendy. You know that. You know me long enough. I only speak facts. So he tied in with this management company. They did an event where they stuck him in had him in a dunk tank, and like fucking 20 people showed up. And he's doing this celebrity boxing fight with Lenny Dykstra down in Atlantic City later on in September. And in a couple weeks, we just found this out yesterday. Mike Dillon, the shitbag producer, put a comedy show together for this guy. And the problem is at this stage that he thinks that he is an established working professional comedian, which to me is offensive and an abomination. And not that I'm what
Mike thinks that Bagel Midget is a comedian.
Mike booked him to do a comedy show, which, all right. Yeah. You could say, well, when you did the show, Peter Wolfinger, that was his, first go around the comedy. Yeah. Except he's funny. Wolfinger's fucking funny. And he still doesn't call himself a comedian. He won't call himself a comedian. He wants to do more shows and he won't call himself a comedian.
Okay.
You got to point the microphone to your mouth. Thank you.
No, I feel like I'm looking through you a jungle of
adjust the fucking thing.
A jungle of wires and tubes.
He's gonna bomb. He is gonna bomb. And the problem, the only thing he's got is him being angry. And all right, angry comics works. I mean, but he's not being angry to be funny. I think he's just an angry human being. And he's doing the show with this guy, Mike, who's notorious for shorting people on money and, just treating people like shit. You'll do the show and go to him for your money at the end, and he won't pay you out, or he'll, short you out. And, fuck that shit. He is going to bomb. Roger has his mouth shield up. Nicole's mic doesn't have a mouth shield. I only bought 2 of these, and the other one's in my studio at home. It's a pop filter, so I don't pop my peas.
Should I put my...
You can. It doesn't really do much. Put your condom on.
Is this one on? Is this mic on?
No. Okay. Let me lower this while you do it. Yeah, it's good. So anyway, so Mike puts this guy on a show, and he's talking, big game, like he's the next big fucking comedian, and calling, saying, "Oh, I've never heard of you. Who are you?" I mean, to comedians that have been around for a while and developing an audience and developing an act. This guy's got no act. He's got nothing. And he's got this mentality that he's this fucking great superstar. I mean, I've met some of the biggest names in show business of the past, 10 years I've met, and don't have even half the attitude this guy has. So he's definitely in a self-destructive spiral. So of course, this guy Mike puts the post up that he booked this guy, and of course all the comedians that perform on Long Island, whether they're from Long Island or regular visitors to Long Island, basically lost their shit. We all lost our fucking minds. And I put up a post basically calling Mike a shitbag. Actually, no, not basically. I did in fact call him a shitbag, and that's fine. And I called Chris Morgan a shitbag, and I still stand by that. And if they were here right now, I'd call them both shitbags. But Mike ended up deleting my comment. But he says to, he's like, well, he said, this guy, Mike Dillon, says to me, "What do you know about comedy?" Yeah. I mean, I don't think I am the end all be all of knowing about comedy. I mean, I'm still relatively new to the industry, but I think I'm doing okay at this point. I'm obviously could always do better. No, Mike's not the midget. Chris is the midget, and Mike is the shithead producer. As long as we got to keep our shitheads, in order. So Mike says, "What do I know about comedy?" And I said, I may not know everything about comedy, but what I do know is when I come to Long Island and I put on shows, the lovely audience that comes to see me when I'm up there and performing will never fucking ever see me performing in front of a Gateway comedy banner. Abso-fucking-lutely not. I will never work for this guy ever. I would no, there's no chance. He could call me up tomorrow and say, "I booked you to headline at Madison Square Garden." And my response will be, "Go fuck yourself." Well, mainly because I don't want to do Madison Square Garden. It'd be kind of intimidating.
You should just do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen tomorrow, probably.
Yeah.
But if it does, you should.
I don't want that kind of fame.
Why not?
I just don't. I want to be able to, my goal in comedy is I want to be able to earn a living and pay all my bills and have my family be comfortable with me doing this. I don't want to be the next biggest, big name, household name comedian. I don't want to be the next, Jim Gaffigan, or
You don't want to be recognized when you're walking down the street.
I don't care about that. I'm a hermit. I you could say, oh, people may recognize me. They'll never recognize me on the street because I'm never on the fucking street. I don't leave my house. Like, seriously, I'm a fucking hermit.
Okay.
I don't like going out to dinner. I don't like going out places. I'm a hermit. I'm getting like more and more. I'm becoming more and more of a hermit.
Yeah, you're
as I get older.
Sorry, unrelated, but I think to be one of those really, really famous people, you do have to have a certain level of like, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Any kind of performance art, whether it's comedy, dance, there is some level of narcissism to it because you want people to see you. You want people to watch you.
Right.
I want people to come to my shows. When I do shows, I hang out with everyone. I'm not like a dick where I just come in, do my show, and fucking leave. I hang out with people.
I want people to see me doing my job, like dancing and stuff, but I don't want them to know it's me.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, I want them to be like, oh, look at that great performer. But then when I'm like in like regular clothes, people are like, who's this?
So
broad?
Narcissist incognito.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it.
Enjoy comedy like the Queen song, Don't Trade Your Passion for Glory. That wasn't Queen. That was Survivor.
I drew you a picture. I drew you a picture of Sharon Osbourne.
There you go. This is what Nicole's doing while I'm going off.
This is how I made it through high school. Thank you very much.
You're the next biggest thing, no matter what you do. Yeah, that's just by weight, Mark. Seriously, I'm a big thing just because of fucking I'm fat. But what I'm getting at with this is, even if you're asked, even as a comedian, there are a couple of comedians watching right now. I don't know if John Butera's still watching. Mark Sulk is a comedian. Lucian Van Reenen is a comedian. Both of them, Mark and Lucian, are Tampa guys or Tampa area guys, because Mark's from further south and Lucian just moved up from that down south city that we don't speak of, rhymes with Sarasota. They're also comedians. There are a couple other comedians watching. I don't know what your goals in comedy are, but I enjoy those guys, Lucian, Mark. I enjoy working with you guys. To me, having a good time with this, and this is what me and Peter were talking about a couple days ago, having fun with comedy and enjoying being on stage and telling jokes, especially when the audience is laughing, is a great feeling. It really is. But more importantly, we're making people happy. We're having a good time. And that was one thing that Pete was going off about last week, was having a good time and enjoying what we're doing. Don't take it too fucking serious. I don't take stand-up comedy or my performance of stand-up comedy all that seriously. I like to have fun. I like to go out on stage, do my thing, have laughs, hang out after the show, have a couple drinks, hug people, autograph a set of titty. That's what I want. You know what? That's my comedy goal. I want to get to the point where women are saying, sign my titty. That's where I want to be.
We can arrange that. I mean,
bring on the titties.
I don't
have a Sharpie.
No, I don't have any. I can bring you some.
I got them right there. No, but like saying, seriously, that's my goal is to like just I never want to lose sight of why I do it. The fans, I would rather do a mediocre show that makes people laugh. Like people, oh, you're a hacky comedian. No, I'm not a comedian that performs to other comedians. That's why I hate going to open mics. That's like the biggest thing I hate about open mics is there's never an audience. It's all comedians.
Do you think that makes us, and I say us because I kind of have a similar attitude about comedy than you do, like posers, if you will, because we're not trying to get rich and famous and we just want to do it for fun. We are hobbyists.
I would never, I'm not a hobbyist because
I know you're not, because you travel and you get paid for it and stuff.
So, but I don't, I make it a point to play to the front of the room, not the back of the room. And for those not in the end, back of the room, front of the room, back of the room is where the comedians are. I'm not trying to make other comedians laugh. Now, I do bounce jokes off of other comedians. Hey, what do you think of this? Should I, can you help me out with that? I'll do that. But to perform to comedians outside really of an open mic, which when I go to an open mic lately, it's been just to try out new shit. And when I do a show in front of a paying audience, I don't want to tell jokes that they have to think about and they'll laugh at on their way home. I tell stupid, silly dick and fart jokes and sex jokes that make people laugh in the moment while they're sitting in the audience and having a good time. My goal is I don't want to change the world with my comedy. I don't want to make political stands with my comedy. I stay away from that. I want to tell silly jokes that make people laugh and feel good. That's what that's what I'm about as far as my comedy. So this guy Mike putting this bagel midget on. This guy's got no material. All right. 2 months ago, this guy, that viral video came big the beginning of July. So in the span of just over 2 months, he's gone from being a homeless guy living in a van down by the river, doing nothing but fishing and smoking weed and being horrible to other human beings, to headlining a comedy show in New York. Now, granted, it's not at a comedy club. It's a a one-off show at a hotel, but independent shows aren't bad. I'm not talking bad about them, but it's not like he's headlining Madison Square Garden, but he's headlining a show. So how much material are you going to write, practice, and have ready to headline in a span of 2 months? Or actually even right now, that show is next, not this coming Saturday, it's the following. So in 2 weeks, you're going to have enough material to be funny and headline. A headliner will do 30 minutes. It doesn't make you guys posers. Posers try to grab fame, but don't put in any effort. Like this guy, this guy, Chris, is a poser.
Okay.
He's not a comedian. Comedians are people who write jokes, craft jokes, and tell jokes. This guy's just going to go out on stage and just be nasty. And here's what's going to happen. All right, I'm not even making a fake ass prediction on this. What's going to happen is people are going to show up to this show and heckle the shit out of this guy to where he loses his fucking mind.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that? Because he's already an asshole and people are going to go there to basically call him out?
Oh, absolutely. Wendy says, who the fuck is going to go to that show? I'd be nervous in his presence. I wouldn't be nervous in his presence, especially since I know that you're definitely taller than him, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't think in a group like that he'd be dangerous. I don't know why he'd be nervous, but he's just not funny. He's mean, and not even like the Don Rickles funny kind of mean. He's just a mean, nasty, abrasive person. He ended up getting locked up, or actually got for a psych eval, or as we say here in Florida, Baker acted. The other day, he got into a fight with some guy and he got arrested. And of course, the story that he told versus the story that's on the police report are two different stories. I got to be honest with you, just knowing this guy's attitude, I'm kind of siding with the police, which I kind of do that anyway, just that habit. But, this guy he's just not a nice person. And I believe that if you have a gift, if you're talented, you should use your talents for positive things. Even if you're not out there doing charity events every day, bringing people laughter and uplifting people is a way to do it. And this guy is just being nasty for the sake of nasty, telling everybody how he's this great comedian and he's making so much money and all this stuff, and we're all nothing. And I've never heard of you, so you're nobody. He just exudes abrasive personality. Pass. Exactly. And he can't there's no way that he should be putting himself to the same level as comedians that have been honing their act for years. This guy's headlining. It takes a long time for a comedian to polish up their first 5 minutes of comedy. It's not something you can do in 2 weeks at all. If you try to go from zero to headlining in 2 weeks, you're going to fail miserably. Absolutely miserably. We wouldn't have heroes without villains. You know what, Mark? That's true. And I know that all of the decent promoters in New York would never book this guy. They just wouldn't. I know promoters in New York City that have banned comedians from their clubs for acting like this guy. And there's no place for it. And, You have guys that have been honing their set for God knows how long, that have been begging for a headline, begging for a feature set, which you're not doing as much time as a headliner. You're not making as much money as a headliner, but you're doing a little bit more than an opening act, that have been begging for that spot. And this guy just, gets his ass kicked in a bagel shop, makes a couple of videos, and automatically he's qualified to do that. People are going to come to that show to heckle him. And I got to be honest with you, I would almost pay. And that's the other thing. You want to know how much the tickets are for this?
$1 million.
No,
25.
$25.
That's not insane.
That's a bit high for that type of show. And Mike doesn't do 3-head shows. He does like showcase shows. So you have a lot of people.
Well, is the midget the only one getting paid?
And I know
he's not getting.
Since it's Mike Dillon, he's probably not getting paid, although he probably thinks he's getting paid. By the way, and that's something Brian said before. When I reached out to this guy, like I said, when me and Peter had heard this guy was in real bad shape financially, he was almost homeless. Maddie, what's going on? Benny's in the house. Hey, Benny, congratulations on your car hitting 200,000 miles. Is that their Dodge?
Yes.
Or was he being sarcastic?
No, that was their Dodge.
No. Was he being sarcastic? You were about to say something. They what?
Oh, that I talked to my dad before I came here today. So, hey, Dad.
Hey, what's up, Ben? Happy car birthday. 200,000 miles on a Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
Nice.
My dad's a big fan of Dodge. He had a Dodge van for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
That's what I learned to drive in.
Nice.
That's why I can drive a moving van through a pin needle or a needle hole, whatever you call it.
Pinhole.
Yeah.
Pinhole. You can thread the needle.
Yeah.
All right. So Maddie just brought up a point what I was just talking about with what Brian said. So this dude, $25, I paid less for way better. Exactly. Do you remember how much you paid when you came to see me? You didn't, because you didn't come see me yet. You should next time I'm in town. You should come see me. But anyway, so I had reached out. Me and Peter heard this guy was in a rough spot. So, not seeing all this other stuff, we just saw the bagel video. We heard that guy was homeless. We confirmed he was homeless. So me and Peter, I reached out to him I was going to do a show, not necessarily have him headline, but use him as a way to get people in. And we were going to give him the lion's share of what we did in ticket sales to help him out. Because, that's the kind of people me and Peter are. And I sent him an email saying, hey, we're looking to do a show on August 2nd. We'd love to have you on, hopefully raise money and help you out, help your situation out. The response I got back just said that they're only doing interviews with mass media people and smaller podcasts willing to pay $1,000 for his time. $1,000. That's $200 a foot. He's not fucking worth it. I've paid less to get far better. And when I say less is I have never, ever paid a guest to be on my show. That wasn't tied in with another show that they were being paid for, that, they were being paid for that show. So they did this show. I don't pay guests to be on the show. The show is fully self-funded. So I'm definitely not, but $200 a foot was his going rate. I'm not going to be here long, I'm afraid. I'm sitting in the bus stop waiting for my bus to arrive. Maddie, don't go banging in the bus stop. All right. No banging in the bus stop. Maddie's a good one. Yeah. So $200 a foot is what it comes down to. And I'm not paying that. So God knows what kind of shit deal Mike's giving him. And chances are Mike's not going to even pay him out anyway. And I don't know. I don't know. Little big for his britches. Yeah. As soon as like $1,000, I'm like, no. Like I've had Stephen Lally on this show. Stephen's a nationally touring comedian who was a writer for Cat Williams and, very successful, funny, great guy. We've had Preston Lacey from MTV's Jackass. A couple weeks ago, we had Mickey Sudo from the Nathan's women's hot dog eating champion. I've had bigger people than the fucking bagel guy, and I don't pay guests. What? Would
you rather have Tiffany or
just you don't even sit that is the person we are not to mention. I don't even know what happened to her. She like disappeared.
Would you rather have snacks every week or would you rather have a midget?
I'd rather have snacks every week because I bring my own. Okay. I don't wait for somebody to bring me snacks. I like snacks though.
Sorry, I didn't have any snacks today.
No promises. This invisible dude next to me. Maddie, yes or no? Have you seen the banging in the bus stop video? And if you don't know what the banging in the bus stop video is, send me a PM and I'll send it to you, and you're going to get scarred for life. I actually had somebody, the other day was National Waffle Day.
Yeah.
So I posted a picture of a blue waffle and told people to Google it.
No.
And a friend of mine Googled it today. She's an older lady. She's like, I Googled it. I'm like, I'm sorry for the mental trauma. Not really sorry, but
Don't do it.
You should know better.
Don't do it.
Can she read from her diary? I'm curious. Wait.
This is not my diary. This is my planner. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's her planner.
I can read from it.
I'll read from it. Dear diary.
Here, you can read from it. It says,
I can barely read your handwriting now. I'm good. I don't need to read. From the one-hand man. Yes, Wendy, from the one-handed man. You haven't had me on the show. Yet I'm top grade A prime shit. You are grade A prime beef, Brian. That's what you are. That's weird. It just told me I skipped ahead in the video. From the one, the one-hand man. Dude, everyone is bigger than the bagel guy. Lexi Rand, send me the video. I'll send it to you later, Lexi, but you're not going to really. I'll send it to both of you. All right, let me take a note to send Lexi and Maddie the bagel guy video. I want to apologize in advance what you're going to see. Lexi, Maddie, bus stop. Okay. I just want to say you guys fucking asked for it. I'll send you descriptions and stuff. So
would you say bus stop hand job?
The bus stop video. No, not hand job. It's a one-handed man.
Oh, okay.
I can't go into detail for fear of getting banned on Facebook. I'll just say that what's in the video, if you look at my if you ever saw the picture, that's the top picture on the fucking on Facebook, the cover picture.
Yeah.
Cover picture is me, Peter, John Butera, standing at this particular bus stop in Port Jefferson Station, New York.
I haven't noticed. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's her collection of roast material. Roast material. You know what? Mikey, you were there. Mikey was a judge. Mikey Judd was a judge. Welcome, Mikey. And you did a great job. And he judged Nicole into victory over me, and she destroyed me and Mark.
Sorry. But I do have jokes written in here, but mostly they're just in my phone.
Nice.
Because when I think of something, I don't necessarily always have time to write it down. So I speak it into my phone.
So what people need to do is go to the show and heckle. I seriously, if I was in New York, I would actually pay the $25 just to go in there and heckle. I don't care if I get kicked out. I'll disrupt the show before I get kicked out. I'll disrupt the shit enough that he'll just have a bad night.
Do you think they're going to check my bag if I bring bad fruit?
Probably not. It's at a Clarion Hotel in Ronkonkoma, New York. It's not like it's a high security, high risk place.
I've never been there, but I love that name.
I have, and the drinks are cheap.
Sorry, go.
Again.
I was Ronkonkoma.
Ronkonkoma. Did you see that song?
No, but you told me about it, and that's why I like it.
It's Christopher Brian Roach.
I just like that word.
You never heard the song?
I've heard it from you, I think.
Yeah, I'll play it later. I don't want to play because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but very successful Long Island comedian Chris Roach did that. Chris was on Kevin Can Wait, the Kevin James TV show that was canceled last year. He was on that. He played Chris. He played Kevin James's brother.
Oh, okay.
Mott. But he made this video. Ronkonkoma is the name of a town. It's actually the name of a lake. And he made a video singing Ronkonkoma, and it was fucking hilarious. Chris, good guy. What was I saying before? So it's at a Clarion Hotel. I will say the drinks are cheap. And the last time I was at that Clarion, I was walking around the bar with a giant inflatable penis, cradling it like a baby.
I've always wanted to try one of those fishbowl drinks, even though I know it's like basically all sugar.
That's all right. It's worth doing, like especially if you have like a hibachi place or something. It's just when in Rome kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to like share it with somebody and be like, let's get a bucket of alcohol.
If you want one of those scorpion bowls, we can just get Dan Gerlach to lay on his back and you can do a body shot.
No.
Size of a fucking scorpion bowl out of his belly button.
No.
He talks about that on stage. It's gross.
I
love Dan.
I don't think I've ever met him in person. I've only seen him on the internet taking off his clothes.
Dan Gerlach?
Yeah. at Pokies they made
No,
him.
no. That's Dan Steen.
Oh shit!
You've
Sorry.
seen Dan Gerlach. He did the New Connection show. Older guy from.
Oh yeah. I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Why would I want to drink a scorpion bowl off of his stomach though, or whatever?
That's one of the bits he talked about on stage. How they want to do body shots, so they picked him, and they poured about as much liquor as for a scorpion bowl, and he got arrested later on that night for over serving a 40-year-old divorcee.
Wow.
His belly button's big because he's fat, but
I have to go ask him about it. Be
Yeah.
like, show me your belly button. I don't
next time you
believe
see
you.
him.
I met somebody who didn't have a belly button once.
Brandon Schulman's watching. Son, you're too young for this show. Go to bed. It's past your bedtime. Tomorrow's school.
Who's that?
My cousin's son, same age as my son.
This is an 18 and over
it's an
show.
18 and over show. You go to bed, young whippersnapper. I don't fucking care. If your parents are going to let you watch it, we could talk about fisting. Actually, speaking of that, Dan Gerlach reached out to me. I love Dan with all my heart. He's such a great guy. He does a lot. He's an unsung hero in the Tampa Bay comedy scene, runs the best comedy room in Tampa. He reached out to me. He's like, I got these shows I might have coming up. If you can clean up your material, I can put you on. And I said, what? The people at the, at the private party don't like fisting jokes. Yeah. He said, like Mrs. Rothcloth, whatever. It's like, may not appreciate it. I'm like, even she knows that it ain't fisting until you get your wrist in. It's horrible. I'm terrible.
It's okay. It makes you a lovable asshole. Is that what they say? I
am a lovable asshole. See, that's the thing, though. I'm an asshole, and I like if you if you fuck me over, if you put yourself into the position of being on my bad side, I will be a ruthless, mean, nasty fuck. I will go all in to just be the most obnoxious asshole I can be. But as long as you're cool, I'm cool. Like, I try to bring my friends up and uplift people. Right? Would you say that that's what I do?
Yes. I just don't have enough.
You want to see me piss off the majority of our listeners?
Yes.
Who's hungry? I went to Publix today and they had candy corn, which is one of my favorite things. Get back to the point of how amazing I am. All right, so John Butera is amazing. He does that thing with his tongue. You know what I'm talking about. He does this thing with his tongue that it's the bee's knees. It's the cat's pajamas.
I know your mom told me.
She did.
She taught me. I was what I meant to say. Can I take a picture of your candy corn?
Yeah. Take a picture of anything you want. Get back.
It's going to be my new phone background.
You're too much of a narcissist, John. I love you.
Oh, it's loud.
Yeah, it is fucking loud.
Sorry.
Diabetes. So, if you're going to go to this show, though, if you're going to go to see the bagel guy perform stand-up comedy, make sure you're going there with the explicit purpose of heckling and ruining the show. Because fuck that guy. And fuck the producer. And fuck any comic that goes on that show. Fuck you. The best utterance of the phrase fuck you is from the movie Ed Wood. With who the hell was it that played Bela Lugosi? The Martin Landau?
Price. It was Vincent Price.
No, it wasn't Vincent Price.
Oh, I don't know that.
I think it was Martin Landau played. Why the hell did you fold this back?
Because I wanted to keep it open so I could take a picture of them.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I think he played Bela Lugosi. And the guy comes up and asks for his autograph and says, "Oh, you were great as Boris Karloff's sidekick." He's like, "Sidekick? Fuck you." It was the best utterance of the phrase "fuck you" I've ever heard in my life. And I'm a connoisseur of the phrase "fuck you," or a common sewer, either way. My bus is here. Love you, fuckers. Love you too, mate. He's going waltz and Matilda.
These are amazing.
Alan, Carol, and Martin. I love your club. Thank you for letting me perform there.
These are texture.
Thomas Tyson. What?
They have like a texture on them.
They all do. It's like a little ridge. I'm eating candy corn because I don't care about diabetes. So anyway, back on track. If anybody's going to go to that show, just be assholes, because it's an abomination. It's an affront to all these comedians that spent time doing what they do and perfecting their set and, trimming the fat, adding here, cutting there, that put work into being comedians. And then this guy's just an asshole in a bagel store, and a shithead booker is going to put him on a show which is just going to be a complete disaster. There's no way it's going to be good. I mean, and it all comes down to this guy's attitude is just so negative. He's just such a negative person. And I'm just going to keep repeating myself with this because fuck that guy. You know, like I said, there are a lot of good people in the comedy business, and you know, especially in the comedy scene in New York. There are so many great people, from promoters to club owners to other comedians. Let me tell you, the very first time I ever did a show in New York, I did a show. Paul Bond was headlining. A couple other comedians that I'm very good friends with now. I had never met before, and they welcomed me with open arms. And they were just so nice, so kind, so welcoming, so supportive. They are the best. Oh, John's at Broadway, 7 p.m. on Thursday. John, I wish I was there. I got to get up there more. The way I'm at, where I'm at now, John, is I'm honing my stuff down here in Tampa at the open mics, and I'll go to New York and perform where it counts. Mom says midget guy just probably didn't want to do the show, but instead he's saying no. Just quoted a super high price. No, it's not even that. This guy Mike will, will put anybody on stage, and I'm all about, if people want to see flies fuck, the producer's job is to provide the flies. There's no way around it. It's, give them what they want to see. But there's nobody saying, yeah, I want to see this. It's just this guy just sees dollar signs, and not that that's such a bad thing, but I just have a problem with putting somebody that's that negative, talks so bad about women, talks so bad about everybody, talks so bad about other comedians, about actual comedians, saying, oh, I've never heard of you, so you're nobody. Fuck you. I'm making all this money, and I'm so huge. Take a fucking step back, you midget.
You midget.
You midget. $200 a foot to get that guy as a guest. Since I'm too cheap to pay the $1,000 to have him come as guest on my podcast, looks like I get to talk shit and he can't defend himself. Fuck him.
I guess if we're gonna start assigning value to people by foot, what is your value? Because you're tall.
I'm tall, but I'm fucking worthless.
So like 25 a foot.
Not even. No, like seriously, I wouldn't even pay. I wouldn't pay that for me.
You wouldn't pay $25 a foot for you.
No.
I can't math.
Would you?
It's $150+.
Would you pay that for me?
Like
see,
in what
exactly.
Sense? Like in what sense?
I don't know.
Like, am I dissecting your body for science?
Whatever.
Maybe. Am I taking you on
fucking
a date for
weirdo.
$150? Maybe.
So you're saying there's a chance? Oh man.
I am $35 a foot. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That is my rate.
Like I said, I wouldn't pay fucking $20 a foot for me. Fuck that shit. I'm the kind of person that's better off being sold by the pound, to be honest with you, because I'm fat.
If I was gonna ship you, I would ship you flat rate.
You'd have to. You'd have to cut me up into really small fucking pieces to fit me in a box.
Sorry, I've been shipping a lot of things lately.
That's all right. That one fucking, if it fits, it ships kind of box is great. Lexi, you're 6 feet tall? No shit. That's awesome. I like tall chicks. New York comedy scene would love my crazy ass. They'd either love your ass, Chris, or they would fucking just swallow you whole and be like, no, they wouldn't. No, and it all comes with what kind of attitude you come in with. I mean, I go in, I'm normally pretty reserved. Like when I meet people, I'm quiet. I'm not always this big boisterous fuckhead of an animal. Ship him fat rate. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lexi. Thank you. By the way, I weighed myself and I'm hovering at 331, which is, I wanted to be further along, but I keep eating delicious things like candy corn because you know how much I love it. Seriously, I didn't think you were that tall. I've never met you in person, but damn. Tall girl. A long, tall Sally.
I think the older I get, the more I realize I'm always going to be the shortest person in the room, with the very few exception of a couple of people.
Hey, if Chris Morgan was here, you'd be taller than him.
Not by much, though.
How tall are you?
5'2", 3, 5'2".
You're 2 to 3 inches taller than the fucking bagel midget. And
Isn't
how come
he
you're
like 4'11"?
He's 5 foot.
Is he exactly 5 foot?
So he says.
Okay, because like you're not legally a midget unless you're 4'11" or shorter.
Okay.
At least in Florida, for driving purposes.
If you ask my sister-in-law how tall she is, she's 4'11" and a half.
She's not a midget.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. I don't care.
Roger, you're
Scott
huge.
Skoronsky.
Everybody's a midget compared to you.
Scott says, so tell me about Bagel Boy who got arrested. He looks like a complete dumb shit. He is. Did I send you the original video? I know you were asking me about it. Did I send you the original bagel store video, or did you see the original bagel store video? If you haven't, then you really should, because yeah, people are always surprised. I am surprised. I really I figured you were taller because I've seen pictures of you. I figured you were on the taller side, but I didn't think 6 foot. That's impressive. I'm 6'2", Lexi. If it wasn't such a fat fuck. Scott, I didn't know they could stack shit that high. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I think I did. Yeah. I'm just kind of burned that they're putting this guy on a show. Rafiq, what's up, bro? Facebook has me listed as an anniversary follower on this feed. Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, I think it may have been a year ago today that you started listening to us regularly. I don't fucking know.
Thank you.
I think I did. Yeah.
Thank you for your consistent dedication.
Yes, without dedicated followers such as yourself, we would have one less follower.
This program is made possible by viewers like you.
I think your mom's probably our #1 fan.
Oh, yeah. Like no offense to all your friends, but oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, legit. I think your mom has listened more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate that from the bottom of my cold black heart. Seriously.
You're so dramatic.
Sometimes.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying.
Acting.
Oh. Thanks for
right?
giving me my new background, my new wallpaper. Yes.
Of what? Oh, the candy corn?
Yeah, it's going to be my wallpaper from now until after Halloween or something.
I don't see how people hate candy corn.
I don't either. Much. And I think they're beautiful. I have a real big soft spot for cute food.
Okay.
I don't necessarily always want to eat the cute food, but I love looking at it. And I love cute food, like pretty cute cupcakes with like frosting and sprinkles and brownies with decorations and like pretty cake. I love all that. I won't eat it because I have a sweet tooth and I don't want to, I don't have that much of a sweet
You don't
tooth.
want to be fat is what you're trying to say.
No, I can't. I can't physically eat that much sugar. I don't know. My mouth hurts, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I love cute foods. I love pink donuts.
Okay.
I'd lose my mind over
to me,
heart-shaped donuts.
Seeing pretty decorated food like that is cool. I mean, a lot of it's cool to see, especially if it's like really handmade, really well done art.
Yeah.
Food art. I love seeing that, but I have no interest in eating that stuff just because I'm a fucking slob. And I'd be like, the way I eat and what I would do to that is just like, it's like seeing a fucking really, really hot, like perfectly gorgeous chick. It's like, oh, I would do the fucking weirdest shit to her. Then you're like, no, because I'd probably just ruin her.
Oh.
Or disappoint her. Most likely disappoint her.
Well, I get hyped over strawberries. And
have you seen all the goth candy corn, purple and black?
No.
But I must get some.
I want to make black cupcakes. It's my plan this Halloween season. I'm going to make black cupcakes. I don't know how I'm going to make them black because I don't want to go the typical like.
Hold that thought. I think the feed on the watch
Facebook?
Party is frozen for whatever reason. So if that's the case, if it's frozen, if you can hear me and you're on the watch party, just go to the Foo Bar Weekly page and watch the video from there. This way, all my comments show up at one place.
I don't get any comments on my watch party.
No, I got a lot.
Oh,
it's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm gonna make black cupcakes, but I don't want to make them with charcoal.
Why the fuck would you make them with charcoal?
Because you can buy activated charcoal, and it takes like a tiny little bit just to turn the whole thing black. But
squid ink.
That's what I was thinking too.
You may get a taste out of that though. That's the only problem.
Fishy. I was thinking about that, but then I'm thinking maybe if I have just like an already dark cake, like a red velvet or something, then I won't need as much because it's already kind of dark.
Okay.
But the thing with charcoal, even though you only need a little bit to turn the whole thing black, if you accidentally put too much of it, you have real bad stomach problems.
Oh.
Because charcoal like flushes you out.
Oh, I should probably take some of that.
They have that stuff. That's what they give to people when they need to like.
Your mom says blackberry cake.
It's not that black though. It'll come out purple. Maybe. Anyway, so I was thinking
Squid jizz.
squid jizz. I'll make purple and black cupcakes and I'll call it squid jizz cakes. I don't know why that's so.
Squid jizz cake.
I don't know why squid jizz is so funny to me.
Blackberry. I like blackberries.
I do too.
I like the berries.
And the black of the berries.
The blackberries. So I what was I gonna say? I just had a thought. I don't remember if it was food related or not.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
I don't know.
Oh, food. That it was food related. Have you had the Popeyes chicken sandwich that everyone's going apeshit about?
No, I don't freaking eat chicken sandwiches that often unless they're from Checkers. And I know that's really specific.
I gotta say, I went to Checkers Friday night and I got a banana shake.
I didn't know they had that.
They do, and don't waste your fucking time. I was so I'm like, oh, banana milkshake, and it tasted kind of like a banana Laffy Taffy. God bless you.
Thank you. That really artificial banana
Yes,
flavor.
which
They-
I actually like that.
They say that that's what bananas used to taste like back in the day before we genetically modified them to what they taste like now.
Oh, okay,
I don't know.
all right. I like banana Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy, the Laffy Taffy.
Shake your Laffy Taffy.
So anyway, so I got it, and I had picked Raja from marching band, so we drove from Checkers to my house, which is probably like a 7-minute drive. I got home, I took a drink of it. The bottom of it was warm, like it would, it's hot out. My car doesn't have air conditioning, so it was warm. But here's the thing: it wasn't like warm and liquidy. It was warm and still thick.
Ew.
Exactly. That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to melt and get liquidy.
That's
Be fine
nasty.
with that. Yeah, I know. So I'm like, that's nasty.
That's nasty.
Yeah, so I will not be doing that, but I like their fries, and I'm not a big fry guy. You know that.
I do like their fries too.
Oh, so what else? What's going on in listener land? Is everybody having fun?
Are you having the time of your life?
Now I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you.
How come nobody ever talked about the fact that Dirty Dancing was totally about a pedophile?
It actually wasn't. See, I had this argument with my wife. I said that, he was a pedophile, and, it turns out that she was actually 18. She was graduating high school.
Do we say that she's 18?
She's graduating high school.
When?
Like that she
Was that the summer
I think she was going to college.
Oh, she was going into college?
Yeah.
I mean,
So she's at least 17. I think that's the age of consent in New York.
okay.
But then again, it's supposed to take place in the 50s. So, like, I think
it
in the
the-
50s, the age of consent was yes.
Was it 50s?
Yeah.
Oh,
50s or 60s.
I thought it was later than that.
No.
I mean, I know it came out in the 80s, but I
Yeah,
thought it was
no.
like based later than that.
No. Where it took place, and believe it or not, where they filmed it, it was an actual resort in upstate New York. It's still there. The lake is completely dried out.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I just watched a thing. Sorry for me. Need paper towels. The lake is completely dried out, and a lot of it's overgrown. It's not as popular. But where it took place was, the Adirondacks and the Catskill Mountain, or the Catskills, and there were all the big name comedians from back in the day: the George Burns, Don Rickles, Bob Hope, Phyllis Diller. They all came from those Catskills resorts known as the Borscht Belt, because that's where Jewish families would go spend their summers.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Disneyland back then. There was no Disney World back then. They really couldn't afford to go, travel to Europe, so they would go to these resorts, these mountain resorts that were really, beautiful, but a lot of them were catering to, those Jewish immigrant families. So that's what that actually took place at. It was one of those Catskills Borscht Belt resorts. See, I know shit about Dirty Dancing, people. I'm not just a fucking big angry manly lug. Lexi says she hates that movie. Do I like Alton Brown? I love Alton Brown, and I'm so excited that Good Eats is coming back.
I started watching one of the episodes and I didn't know how I felt about it, but I also didn't finish.
You got to watch the older.
I've watched a lot. I've watched all of them.
Okay.
I wasn't. He was making chicken parm on his first episode back, and that's like my least favorite meal
How do you not like chicken parm?
because I don't like breaded chicken in sauce in a
Even
cheese
Peyton
in a-
Manning once said, "Chicken parm, you taste so good."
I'll eat a meatball parm. I'll eat eggplant parm any day. I will eat other parms.
You need to have good chicken parm.
I don't like breaded chicken.
The
I mean,
fuck?
I like breaded chicken just fine. It's just not with like the cheese and the everything. Like I'm already having, especially if it's on a sandwich, I'm already having bread on my chicken parm. I don't need extra bread.
But when you put bread on bread, it's like breadception. It's delicious.
It's also really filling.
Yeah, it is. Chicken parm's good. I love chicken. I love good chicken parm hero. Then again, you know, I'll eat a pig's ass. You cook it right.
I like meatball parm, especially when the meatballs are good. Which lately I've been eating them at Bellagio.
What, meatballs?
Yeah.
I have a meatball recipe that is very simple and lower in fat. It's
Yeah.
what I call my healthy meatballs. Well, when I make meatballs, 'cause I'm cooking for my whole family, I'll make 3 pounds, and it's
Okay.
2 pounds of 99% lean ground turkey, 1 pound of 93% lean ground beef.
Oh, mix it up.
Mix it up.
Cool.
3
sounds-
eggs and a cup and a half of. I'm sorry, no, 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs,
Okay.
salt, pepper,
And you smash it
garlic
together
powder,
with
onion
hands.
powder.
You do that.
Oh, I use my feet so you get the extra cheese flavor. But yeah, that's it. I bake them up, or I'll put them in the air fryer. It's good.
Sounds like a plan.
But then you
Sounds like a
got to
good
let
plan.
them sit in the sauce. Let
Why?
them suck up that saucy goodness.
What sauce? Like the beef?
Tomato sauce.
Oh, the tomato sauce. That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
unless you're making some weird ass Swedish meatball shit.
Have you ever been to IKEA?
Have I ever been to IKEA? I hate IKEA.
I do too. And Mike's trying to get me to go.
I have never had their horse meat meatballs. I don't know why you're laughing.
I know, because I know, but it's fine. But the horse is lean.
I'd eat it.
I'm pretty sure I have eaten it at some point in my life because Hispanic people do that sometimes.
I'll eat anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of not keen on the idea of going to IKEA, especially if there's like a zombie apocalypse and I'm stuck in this one large warehouse with several other people where I can only go one way in and one way out. That's
Well,
some
that's what
Nazi
I was going to
shit.
say. That's probably what I hate about IKEA is like when I go shopping, like I know what I need. I know where it is. I go in, I get what I got to get, and I leave. I don't walk through stores. I don't shop. I don't do that shit.
I don't.
How big do I make my meatballs? That's a very good question. I make them a little bit bigger than golf ball size. I don't like really big meatballs. I like my ball meat to be a little smaller.
Can't have too much meat.
Well, because they fit in your mouth nicely when they're the right size, you know. No, I think they're about golf ball size. Maybe, yeah, about a golf ball. I have a scoop that I use. Like I don't like.
Like an ice cream scoop,
Yeah.
but not for ice cream.
It's a disher, which looks like an
Disher.
ice cream scoop, but it's got a thing inside that.
Oh, I know what those things
Yeah.
are. I always
And
forget the
it,
name.
like all this way, all my meatballs come out uniformly perfect. My typical batch of meatballs will make 43 meatballs.
Ooh, it's very exact.
Yeah, and the 43rd one will be slightly smaller. It's either I make one bigger or one smaller.
Gotcha.
So I go with smaller, and then when they come out, I eat that one.
Yeah, it's
first.
like the tester one.
That's the test meatball.
Of course it is. It's the tester one. You have to do a test.
We're making Lexi hungry. I made turkey tacos for dinner. It's Turkey Taco Tuesday
Turkey Taco Tuesday.
with beans and rice.
I wanted to make. I didn't make it yesterday. I ended up buying it, but I wanted to make beans and rice yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you put in your beans and rice?
I make my white rice like normal, with some salt and pepper, and then I make the beans with onions and tomatoes. And I know you don't like it, but cilantro, and what was it? A dash of apple cider vinegar to give it a little bit of acidity to kind of cut it. I don't know. And then some, if it's not already salted in the can, then salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
I
I
do
do when I make rice, I use jasmine rice,
Yeah.
and then I'll add a packet of sazon goya,
Mm-hmm.
the one with the saffron.
Okay.
So it makes the rice orange, like traffic cone orange. And it's delicious.
Sazon Goya.
Sazon Goya. But one packet. Now, when you make rice, how do you cook it?
I cook it on the stove.
Okay.
I've never cooked it in the oven, but the way I do it, which is not the way I was taught, but it's the way that works for me, is I put let's say I'm doing one portion. So 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. So 1 to 2.
Yep.
And then I put it together in the pot, and then I turn the pot all the way to high heat and wait for it to boil. And then when it comes to a boil, I turn it almost all the way off, like the second to last setting before off, like all the way low. And then I cover it, and then I let it sit there for 15 minutes. And at 15 minutes, I check it. And if it is good, I fluff it up with a fork or whatever. And then I take it off the heat, but I let it sit covered for another like 5 to 10 minutes after that.
Nice.
So.
Lexi, I feel your pain. I got the type 2 beatus too. Goddamn beatus. I've been on a turkey kick lately. You know what? Turkey's good if you know how to cook it. Like mostly ground turkey. Like when I make the turkey tacos, the turkey by itself has like zero flavor and it comes out dry. But I'll brown it up, and then I'll mix up my taco seasoning and I'll pour it in with the water, and I'll turn it on low and let it slow simmer. And then it kind of rehydrates the meat. When I make rice, rice is the very only thing that I will cook in a microwave.
Really?
Yep. And it comes out fucking perfect every fucking time.
I've never cooked rice in a microwave, and I'm not going to start now only because I don't have a microwave.
Okay, fair enough.
So
yeah, 1 to 2, 1 part's rice to 2 parts water.
Mm-hmm.
If I do 1 cup, I'll microwave it on high for 5 minutes and then 15 minutes on half power.
High on 5 minutes, 15 minutes on half power.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's a bigger batch, then 5 minutes high, 20 minutes.
What kind of vessel or whatever do you put it in?
I have like a Pyrex, ceramic dish that's got a lid.
Okay.
A cover.
Like a glass lid or whatever, or Pyrex lid. Okay.
Yeah, well, the dish is like opaque white, and the cover is clear glass.
Gotcha.
But
That probably comes out better. I have my rice is not an exact science. The way that I was taught was almost everything I said except for put it on low for 20 minutes and leave it covered for 5 minutes. However, I'm not but I think that's because you have to wait in that recipe. You're supposed to wait for the water to boil before you add the rice. But I just put it all together at once because I figure it's going to boil anyway.
There you go.
So,
yeah, that's the only thing I'll cook in the microwave, and it comes out perfect every time.
One of my favorite things that I used to like to cook in microwaves when I did have one was steamed vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do that. Like I'll get the
steamers or whatever.
The steamer bag from the public steamer bag of vegetables, and throw it in for a couple minutes. But I don't really consider that really cooking.
Oh, I like steaming vegetables. I like my little basket steamer is one of my oldest kitchen tools.
I use my steamer basket for crab legs.
Crab legs. I saw some meme or something. I don't know. I don't want to call everything I see on the internet a meme, but sometimes it is. But it had this guy holding 2 big crabs. And it was like, oh, you have to eat both of them. Who are you calling? And I'm like, nobody, because I'm going to eat them myself.
Hyacinth says, we're cooking rice in the microwave tonight. Is this FUBAR or my mom's cooking show? Does your mom cook rice in a microwave? I mean, shit. Go mom.
I mean...
Well, we kind of ran out of steam talking shit about the bagel store midget.
What do you want me to cook next time on Cooking with Cole? And Hyacinth should watch Cooking with Cole.
I don't know.
I don't know.
My girlfriend has a rice cooker because she's a fancy bitch. Fancy bitches have fucking rice cookers. I have a rice cooker too. It's called my microwave and a fucking Pyrex dish. I don't need fancy fucking. See, here's the problem. And this is an Alton Brown thing. Like that's a rice steamer. That's a unitasker.
That's 100% how I feel about that.
Yeah. That
and crock pots. Even though crock pots aren't technically a unitasker because you can cook multiple things in it, I don't like the fact that it only does one function.
Yeah, I mean, a crock pot is useful though. I mean, there are lots of things you can make it. It's not like it's like a rice steamer. You can fucking steam rice. That's about it.
I would only use a crock pot if I was home. Like I had to do it overnight and I was home because I don't like the idea of leaving it plugged in while I'm not home.
Yeah, well, I mean, I work from home, so if I'm gonna, it's
crock
easy.
Pot.
It's it's easy to do when I'm home.
Yeah.
So for that stuff, like I'll make stew. Let shit just slow cook. That's fine.
I want a grill.
Microwave rice cooker was one of my best kitchen investments. So you have like a rice cooker that goes in the microwave? That's Lilabelle.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, but again, that seems like, like the Pyrex dish. I mean, I can use it in the oven. I can use it in the microwave. I can run in it. I can swim in it. What else going on?
I don't know. What else is going on in life?
Life
Look
sucks.
at my recent screen caps and I'll let you know what's going on.
Yes, it works really well.
What, screen caps?
No,
sorry.
no. Lilabelle says about the microwave rice cooker. I like I said, I mean, I use a Pyrex dish with a lid. And it works. I mean, microwaved rice. Like seriously, that's the only thing I can cook. I can see cooking in there, like that, and steaming vegetables. But there's nothing else I'll cook in a microwave. I'll heat shit up in a microwave, but not like cook. Everything comes out rubbery.
Yeah, I've never even made like a egg in a mug in a microwave, even though I'd like to try that sometime.
The amount of effort it takes to nuke an egg in the to cook an egg in a microwave, just fucking fry it. I mean, I have a really, really nice, it's a small but small one, but a really, really nice nonstick pan.
Yeah.
I don't have to add any oil or anything to it.
I love eggs. I eat them all the time.
Yeah.
It's like my number one source of protein if I had to guess. I would.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Your mom says, since this is your mom's cooking show, do either of you have a good risotto recipe? Yes, I do. Does your mom like mushrooms?
I don't know. That's a good question. But don't ask me either, because if you don't like mushrooms, my recipe also consists of mushrooms. But I don't like making it because it takes too much time, personally.
Oh. Well, I don't have the files on here, but I will send you a risotto recipe that you can. Your mom says yes. Okay. You don't have to use minute rice if you use the cooker. It also does sushi rice, quinoa, and couscous. See, that's not bad. Yeah, I don't use minute rice at all. I don't buy instant anything. I love grits. No instant grits. No instant anything. However, Uber Eats has been the best kitchen investment I've ever made. Nice. I've never used Uber Eats. I've used DoorDash a couple times to have stuff delivered here to my office, but at home, no. That's awesome.
I've never used DoorDash, Grubhub, any of those other than Uber Eats.
I've only taken I've never even taken an Uber. I've taken a Lyft, and only 3 times in my life.
Oh, I've used Uber a number of times. It's convenient sometimes. So.
Well, where I live, it's not.
Oh, I guess
because anywhere I'm going is a fucking hour drive.
Yeah, that's okay. Or whatever.
I'm cheap. I mean, I had to take a Lyft last week when my truck was out of service. My mom had to go to the hospital for something. She's fine, but I had to go down there, so I had to take a Lyft to the hospital.
I wish we were. Do you think they have Lyft in England where they call lifts elevators or elevators lifts?
Maybe, but they would still call it Lyft because you're giving, it's a lift.
It's a lift.
It was Lyft the one that had the mustaches on the cars when they first came out.
Yes.
Right. So that's why I like them. Uber treats that people like shit, though.
I would like to lift you up on my mustache.
Stacy, welcome to the party.
Welcome, Stacy.
DoorDash has a bigger list of restaurants in this area. Yeah, same thing. That's why I use them here in my office. I pretty much order from the Chinese joint when I order.
I got a mannequin yesterday.
I saw that. The fuck? Well, because you do costumes, right? So it makes more sense for you to buy a mannequin than for me to buy a mannequin. If I buy a fucking mannequin, I'm just a creepy fuck. I'm a creepy fuck anyway.
I sent this picture to Mike yesterday, and I asked him
Did he ask where you're going to drill the hole?
I asked him if it was okay if I could drive in the HOV lane now.
I think so. We don't have HOV lanes, do we?
I don't know. We did in South Florida. I don't know if we do here.
Look, she's got a fucking peg leg. Look at that.
Yeah, there was a store that I got a message about that it was closing, and I went in looking for some cool clothing deals, and I ended up coming out with a mannequin instead.
That works. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you make costumes, so a mannequin makes sense.
It's got a nice heavy weighted base.
Nice.
And she's adjustable in height. She's not very tall. She's like 4 feet tall. And she's made of foam and fabric, which means that I can poke things into her if I'm making costumes.
Nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about fucking causing harm and people yelling.
I mean, I would like to do that anyway.
That's funny.
I was explaining a pain that I was having this morning or last night or whatever to Mike as somebody twisting my voodoo doll fabric. But it got the point across, right?
True. So a Polish guy goes to a doctor. He says, doctor asks, well, what's wrong? He's like, every time I touch it, if I touch here, it hurts. 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 Doctor looks him over and says, you fucking Polak, your finger's broken. But you can use her as a yard decoration at Halloween. Nice.
No.
Yes, why not?
I discovered Redbox recently.
You know they've been around for a long time. You know I missed an opportunity to invest in that shit.
You should have.
When it first came out, I was approached to invest and buy a couple boxes. Would have been a couple $1,000s invested, and I would have made a fuckload of money. And I turned it down.
I know they've been around, but I have never used Redbox. I've never had a reason to use Redbox. And then I discovered how ridiculously cheap it was.
Yeah, it's like a buck and change for a fucking movie.
Exactly.
When Redbox first came out, Netflix was still doing DVD rental.
Yeah.
And the way I thought of, in my mind was Netflix is, this is a great concept Netflix has. You order the movie, they ship it to you, get it like the next day, you watch it, you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
And Netflix stopped doing that.
But Netflix blew up anyway.
Well, they blew up, but in a different way. They blew up to online streaming as opposed to, physical DVDs. Now, I've rented from Redbox probably more than I watch fucking shit on Netflix.
Are there other DVD rental services still around?
I don't think so.
That's a shame.
I miss Blockbuster. I really do.
Me too.
It was just something about
Me too.
I don't know. I think Lilibel's probably old enough to remember Blockbuster. Your mom definitely remember. Most of our listeners remember Blockbuster. There was just something about like the whole especially like on date night. The bunch of girlfriends I've had, Blockbuster has been involved. Now we Blockbuster and chill. So we go, we go to Blockbuster. We pick up movies. We'd hit CVS and pick up candy. Then we'd hit 7-Eleven on the way home, pick up some fucking drinks. Whether it was alcoholic or not, we'd pick up some drinks. We'd go back to the house and we'd, watch movies, snuggle, and do whatever.
My Blockbuster memory is a little more PG. There was a Blockbuster right across the street from a Roadhouse Grill. Do you have those? Do you remember those?
No.
Okay. It was this restaurant that I guess is still around. They went under, then they came back, and it's like
Cody's Roadhouse.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
It was just called Roadhouse Grill, and it was like a Southern style cooking restaurant. But their whole thing was that they gave you peanuts while you were waiting for your food instead of bread, and you could throw your peanuts on the ground.
Okay.
Oh, so anyway, so we'd go to Roadhouse Grill, which was in our neighborhood. We'd check in, we'd get our table assigned to us or whatever, and then while we were waiting to be sat, we'd walk across the street to Blockbuster, and they get a movie for after dinner, and
oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was like a family thing that I remember.
Your mom says Netflix still has a service in certain areas. By the way, used to spend more time at Blockbuster than watching the movie.
That's probably true because I did not want to rent a movie until I knew that I saw every movie in the place and that those were my options.
Blockbuster and chill looked a little more planning. It did. You know what? And copping a feel in the video. Absolutely right, High. So you're fucking right on. That but it was like the whole thing. It was like now it's I do a bit on stage where I talk about how lazy we've become as humans, that you can have an entire date night without leaving your house, strictly using cell phone apps. Like seriously, you find the girl on Tinder, right? You get food delivered from DoorDash or Uber Eats. You watch a movie, Netflix and chill. Then at the end, if it was a shitty time, you call her bitch an Uber. And you can even get a Plan B delivered from Amazon.com.
Can you really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. But, it was the process. It was the romance. I also talk about how back in the day, in order to send a dick pic, you had to take a picture, take it to the drugstore, have it developed, then take it home, put it in an envelope with a stamp on it, mail it to the girl, and hope her father didn't open her mail. That's the way we sent dick pics back in the day.
I thought you just sent pictures of Dick Cheney and cut them out of the newspaper and mailed them.
Maybe. I mean, I remember when a dime bag used to cost a dime. You know how much condoms used to cost back then?
A dime.
I have no fucking idea. Nobody used them. Guilty. Yeah, seriously, man. Oh, for fuck's sake, I never sent dick pics back then. You didn't? I guess I'm the only one. When I was growing up, Blockbuster was the ritzy place to rent movies We went to Family Video or the local mom and pop video rental place. You know what? That's actually cool that you did that. Like where I grew up on Long Island, mom and pop, movie, DVD, video stores. They got swallowed up by Blockbuster real quick.
I remember there was a place called Video World by our house, and it was like one room. It was like the size of your office, gutted.
Okay.
But like just videos and whatever. And if you called to see if they had a movie, there was a nice young lady who worked there. Her name was Sue. And I used to lovingly make fun of her, how she sounded, because she would answer the phone. Thank you for calling Video World. How may I help you?
Wow. You know what's funny?
What?
The Chinese restaurant I used to order from you. The Hong Kong may help you. What is funny is when I went to college in North Carolina, and Video World may help you. That's what your mom said.
Thank you for calling.
Be kind, rewind. The funniest thing is when DVDs became a thing, they had rewind stickers on the DVD. What's funny about the mom and pop shops? When I went to college in North Carolina, and in that town there were two video stores, two places to go rent videos. One was a local place. I remember the name. It was called Grizzards, and it was a family that lived in the town. This is in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, Murfreesboro, North Carolina, the middle of fucking nowhere. So it was Grizzards, like it was like a general store. They sold shit, plus they had videos. But then there was like a chain. It was like called Movie Time or something like that. And that Movie Time had, the main, but they also had the back room where you can go and you could rent adult films. And I rented one, and it was the worst thing ever. It was a holy shit. As I'm talking about fucking Murfreesboro, North Carolina, Chris Kinney pops in. I played football with Chris my fucking freshman year before I got kicked out. Hot shit. What's up, Chris? Yeah, they had a room in the back where you could have adult films, and I think after I left the school, I owed them like late fees.
Yeah,
and they actually went on my credit report that I owed them late fees. They actually like pursued like $4 in late fees.
That's terrible.
Ridiculous, crazy shit.
There was
I
owed.
Oh, Maddie pop back on. Having fun, can't stay. Just want to drop in and say, fuck the bagel shop midget guy. Fucking Maddie, I love you.
I rented a bunch of books from the school library, from the college library.
Oh God.
And I forgot to give them back.
Well, they charged like $10,000.
They charged me a ton of money, but then it came out that the library had mold. And so they had to shut down the whole library.
Oh shit.
And they sent out a letter to everybody basically saying that our fees were forgiven because they couldn't take the books back anyway.
Nice. One of the last Blockbusters was in Coram. I grew up in Coram.
There is still one Blockbuster.
There's one. It's in like Washington State or Oregon or something like that. And the computer system they used was the original Blockbuster. So in like 2019, or whatever the hell I last saw it was open, they were still using the old school computers with the CRT, the CRT monitors.
Yeah,
like that's how old school it was. I remember like shit. It was a novel invention when Blockbuster got the after hours drop slot, and you could drop your movies off without having to actually interact with another human being. Now I love that. Too.
So I'm trying to find out where the last Blockbuster is. Oh, okay. Wait, it's in Australia.
Really?
Tell Maddie to go there.
Maddie, if you're still listening, go.
I know it's like on his. It's in Bend, or what?
Bend, Oregon.
Oh no, just kidding. Oregon. There was one more in Australia, and that one closed down.
You know what my kids told me? You ready for this? This is awesome. All right, you saw the movie Finding Nemo, right?
See.
What was the address?
Wait, I told you that.
Oh, that was you?
That was me. I was here on the
I knew it was a short person that told me.
Yeah, it's actually an orthodontist.
That's awesome.
At 42 Wallaby Way. Yeah.
42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Oh, Bend, Oregon. The last Blockbuster in the U.S. has no intentions on closing.
Hyacinth says, Maddie! What's funny, Hyacinth is watching on the watch party. Maddie keeps jumping on the page. So it's like they're not even like in the same place watching the show. Well, they're definitely not in the same place because she's in Virginia and he's in Australia. He's Waltzing Matilda. What's funny, when I first heard Waltzing, I thought it was like a jerk-off euphemism.
Waltzing Matilda?
Waltzing Matilda.
Waltzing
Matilda.
What does that mean?
It's a song. Jesus.
I don't know a Matilda, and I don't know a Matilda who knows how to waltz, so I can't help you, sir.
It's an Australian like folk song.
Oh. A lot of a lot of folk songs sound like they have euphemisms attached to them. Like I'm sure that there's like a song about hitting the hay and rolling in the dough or something, but none of those things mean what they mean anymore.
No, and there are actually a few songs that were dedicated to that thing. You're right. Boogie.
Hey, I got like an itch. Whatever, it's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, Waltzing Matilda. Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. Who'll come waltzing Matilda with me? Waltzing Matilda. What?
Who's Matilda?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. Gotta ask Maddie what the fuck it means. I just know it and it's a fucking awesome song. Bing Crosby sang it. I tried watching it on both places, but the video not synchronized and it gave me a fucking headache. Yeah, try watching it. Try having 3 screens, having 3 examples of it, and each one is timed out differently. It drives you fucking crazy. Hyacinth, I had to translate a conversation between my North Carolina mom and Maddie. It was hysterical. That sounds fucking funny. That's right. I forgot you're from North Kakalaka. North Kakalaka.
Kakalaka. Sorry.
Mekaleka High, Mekahine. What's funny, the college I went to was a real small ass school.
Yeah.
Like at the time I went there, it was really tiny. I was in Disney World last year, and in the Magic Kingdom, I was going to a smoking area in Tomorrowland, and I'm walking, and there's this woman also walking to the smoking area wearing a Chowan University fucking sweatshirt. I'm like, holy shit, I went there, and we were talking. Turns out she's now a professor there.
Oh wow.
And she went after I got kicked out. And she was friends with a girl I'm friends with.
That's cool.
So like, running into people. And like, when I say middle of nowhere, like this is legit middle of fucking nowhere. Craziness.
I guess it was appropriate that you were in Disney where it's a small world after all.
It is, in fact, a small world. I hate
the number of
fucking
times
word.
that I've realized how small the world is, it blows my mind. Like so many times I'll be like, oh my God, you know that person who I knew from 6 years ago and you still talk to them. How are they? And blah, 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 blah. And like, sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, that's weird that you know them. I don't really care. There's a lot of people I don't care for.
Hyacinth says, yep, they end their alphabet with Z instead of Z. See, I knew that because I watch a lot of car stuff and I've seen them.
Like a 350Z.
Yeah, that's exactly the way they say it.
Mm-hmm.
Mom goes, he said Zayd. Zed. Zayd. He said Zed. Zed. Say hi to your mom and them. Yeah, it's weird. No, you want I think the weirdest small world encounter I've come to so far is I hired a guy a couple of years back for the security company that I owned. I hired a guy, and he was a friend of a bunch of mutual friends. We had a bunch of mutual friends. So some guys that already worked for me said, "Oh, you should hire this guy. He's a friend of ours. He's a good dude." So I hired him. And then one day I'm looking on Facebook, and I see he's friends with my wife's best friend from high school in New York. So I call him. I'm like, dude, how do you know this chick? And he's like, that's my aunt. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's my mom's sister. So his mom actually graduated high school with my wife in New York. He lives here in Florida now. And well, his mom lives. They moved to Florida, and I ended up hiring this kid, not knowing the connection. So like growing up, my wife was at his mom's house. Like hung out with her, with his mom and her sister. She was actually really close with her sister. But, and then I end up hiring this guy, like just weird, small world. It's a really small world when you're as fat as I am. God damn. I hate that song, man.
Which one? The Small World
Yes.
song? Sorry, I put it in your head.
So let me re-summarize tonight's show. We're at the 10:30 hour. To wrap up, Bagel Guy, fuck him. Mike Dillon, Gateway Comedy on Long Island. Fuck him. All the other people are cool. You people are cool. Legit. It was back when we had certain hotels we now fucking hate. Yep. Fuck Bagel Guy. Yes. Fuck. Actually, you know what? Don't fuck Bagel Guy because he's a fucking incel. Seriously.
You might catch something.
Yeah. So fuck Bagel Guy. He's supposed to be doing a comedy show on Long Island, and it's just going to be a fucking disaster. It's a waste of stage time. There was something else. Oh, make sure you vote. I'm going to post a link up on the FUBAR page. Make sure you vote for Dottie J. for that contest she's in. So hopefully she can. You know what's weird? You're not moving. I thought the screen was frozen until I saw my hand moving because you were just like locked in position. So Dottie J, you're gonna find that link when I post it up, and you're gonna vote for her for senior class president. I think no, it's a contest. She's a singer. You know, she's a supporter. She's a very nice lady. Shit, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Fuck Bagel Guy. Yeah, you should watch the first first part of the show, Hyacinth, because I kind of go off on him. He's a shitbag, and Mike's a weak ass motherfucker. I don't know if I said that the comments that I made he deleted. Like, and that's the worst. Like, somebody's criticizing you, and you're gonna delete comments.
Screen caps are forever.
Yes, they are. I was gonna go to it and post and be like, "Why'd you delete it?" But I don't even feel it's not even worth stirring the pot with this guy.
At Five Below, they have a shirt that I love because I stand by it, and it says "The internet is forever."
Actually, the internet is for porn. Okay, Avenue Q taught me that.
What taught you that?
Avenue Q.
Oh, Avenue Q. Okay.
The internet is for porn. Grab your dick and double click for porn. Tony Landolfi is watching. What's going on, Tony?
I heard you don't have to double click anymore. You can just single click now.
Well, I use a laptop, so I can. Well, when I use my laptop, I can just click on the mouse pad like this. See, like that. I just click. But I watch porn on my phone.
I double click everything.
Big. There you go.
I double click it. Double click.
Double click.
Double trouble.
There you go.
Double.
So in summation, fuck Bagel Guy. Fuck Mike Dillon. Fuck Bagel Guy's handlers. Fucking $200 a foot. Fuck that guy. Bagel Guy is Five Below. Oh shit. Oh fuck. That, you know what? That would be a great. You know, if he wasn't a piece of shit, that would be a great
marketing
thing. You know, hire him as your spokesman. But then again, if you try to hire him as your spokesman now, you're just going to drive away all your customers. He, you know,
I'm Bagel Midget and I am Five Below.
No, he yells a lot. Talks about how much of a badass he is.
I was trying to yell, but I didn't want to blow your ears.
Like, he's seriously gotten his ass kicked like 5 times in the past month.
I bet you I could kick his ass.
He's got a punchable face. I'll definitely say he's got a fucking punchable face. Without a doubt.
I'll punch his throat.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Punch you in your throat.
So onward and upward, Nicoleolio.
Si, senor.
Where can these fine people see you shake your shit?
Tomorrow at the Villaggio Cinema in Carrollwood, I will be bartending the entirety of the day.
Nice.
So you can come bug me, get drunk off of me, watch some movies, and eat meatball parmesan.
Do they still have the samosas?
Yes.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. On Thursday, you can see me belly dancing at NYKL, aka Nickel, New York Kitchen Lounge, in International Mall.
It's on Boy Scout Boulevard.
It's on Boy Scout Boulevard by International Mall. And that's probably not going to happen until like 11 or 12 at night.
What's the theme?
Arabic night.
So if it's Arabic night, does that mean you're going to be wearing like a bomb vest and a burqa?
Yes. And then I'll burlesque it down to my
Are you going to be singing like, my burqa brings all the Arabs to the yard and they're like Mohammed Jihad? No,
but I totally will.
And
I could sing that, and nobody would understand.
Middle Eastern, so suck it.
Nobody would understand that because it's Latin night, but it's an Arabic theme. So if I start speaking Arabic, nobody will understand.
You speak Arabic?
I can sing like one song, like 2 songs.
So can I?
That's what it sounds like when I sing.
I know.
And then on Friday, you can see me go-go dancing at Lust in St. Pete. And on
sounds like a titty bar.
It is a titty bar.
I know, every time I say
it is a titty bar, but I'm not showing you my titties, and then neither do the girls there either because they're not that kind of titty bar. They're like a bikini bar. It's not
what kind of bullshit is that?
It's a bikini bar because in Florida you gotta have your nipples and your lady parts covered.
Really?
Yeah, it's panties and pasties. That's our blue law, I think is what it's called, is like how much girls can show in places. In Texas is like nothing. They can't even have like fringe on their belt.
Damn.
Yeah.
In New York, it was can't show the cooter.
Yeah. Florida, for the most part, it's like it varies from club to club and state to state, but for the most part, it's panties and pasties, unless it's a full nude place, and then there will be no alcohol within like 500 feet of the entrance or some shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, you're either going to be full nude or full liquor. You can't have both.
Oh.
So, and that includes beer and wine too.
I'm kind of ashamed to say I've never been to a strip club in Florida. I haven't been in a strip club since 2003.
You're not missing too much.
No, my father said once you've seen one pair of tits, you want to see them all.
Listen, well, I mean, yes.
He's right.
I don't know what kind of strip clubs. This isn't the Pink Chicken or whatever.
Ah, you remember the name.
Yeah. This isn't the Pink Chicken. But anyway, no. So then on Friday, I'll be dancing there in St. Pete. And then on Saturday, you can catch me belly dancing at Acropolis in St. Pete. However, I will be not performing after that, but because I'm going to be doing some other stuff for Miss Holly and blowing up balloons at the Ritz. So if you want some balloons, come to the Ritz, I guess, but you also got to pay
Balloons
entrance.
at the Ritz.
But you got to pay entrance, and I don't really know who's playing.
There you
But
go.
but you can go to Gaspar's Grotto and you can see Miss Kay Tulamiu hooping her stuff. And then next week we got a couple of other stuff going on, but that's this weekend. So you have opportunities to see me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
The Pink Chicken should be my farm name. Hyacinth. If you didn't hear I'll recap the Pink Chicken story, which I told a while back. It was the worst strip club I've ever been to. It was right outside of Abbeville, Louisiana, and I sat down with my beer. The girl came out on stage, and we all got up and left. Not that there's anything wrong. Like, you know, it's I understand the woman as she ages and has kids. You know, there will be stretch marks. There will be cellulite. It was just they were missing teeth. They were just banged up to fuck. She had a C-section scar that bisected a round tattoo, and it wasn't put back straight. So that round tattoo was kind of like off kilter. It was just a really shitty, dirty, awful place. So the Pink Chicken, I don't even know if it's still there. It was outside of Abbeville, Louisiana,
Why would
Vermilion
you call
Parish.
it the Pink Chicken
I don't
and not
fucking
like
know.
the Angry Cock or something?
I think what you should name your farm is Brown Chicken, Brown Cow. Brown chicken, brown cow. Brown chicken, brown.
So where can we see you, Roger?
Nowhere, because nobody books me because I've effectively pissed everyone off. Oh well.
But
no,
we can hear you doing voice work.
Yes, you can hear me doing voice work if you tune into certain radio stations or internet instructional videos. You can hear me, the Turbo Encabulator. You can hear me doing voiceover shit. I am on a schedule, even though the show hasn't been solidified yet. Or the next date. I am doing the Shock Value show, which is where I will be putting on a dog shock collar, and if the judges vote that my set sucked, I'm gonna get shocked.
I'm gonna be at that show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna steal the remote though.
She's renaming her coop the Pink Chicken. What's funny, Hyacinth? My studio, in my house that I do my voice work from, I am eventually going to upgrade it and put hard sides on it and paint it, and I'm going to paint it pink. I want to paint the inside of my studio pink. And do you know what the name of the studio is?
Pink Walls.
Sugar Walls.
Oh, okay.
Sugar Walls Studio. So, because I want it to look like Peter Wolfinger's living room. Yeah, I have nothing else on the books upcoming. Although I am putting a show together, I'm hoping the beginning of November with Peter Wolfinger in Florida.
What?
I'm gonna bring Petey Cakes down to Florida and wreck shit down here.
I'm looking forward to meeting him in person.
Yeah,
because he seems like a nice, crazy guy.
if you think I'm tall, he's taller.
Really?
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
Better wear my big heels that day.
Yes, please. I mean, yes. So yeah, I have nothing on the books for the next couple weeks. I'm actually focusing more on the voice stuff because I'm trying to make money on that shit. Well, fuck. So yeah, that's a plan. I got nothing in the books aside from Shock Collar. Is there anything else that I wanted to pitch? I don't believe so. Did I miss anything? Yeah, anything else you want to add?
Follow me on Instagram, NIKOLE_Raven like the bird. NIKOLE_Raven like the bird.
Raven
Nicole
like the bird.
_Raven.
Did you know that bird
Is the word?
Bird's that word. Anyway. So I think we're gonna wrap it up.
I prefer rock lobster, but okay.
Oh, that's what I was gonna talk about. And hang on, where's my phone? Because I have my notes. I learned. Do you know who Carol Kay is?
Negative.
For those who do not know who Carol Kay was, and I got to be honest with you, I did not know who Carol Kay was before a few weeks ago. And over the past few weeks, I've been learning quite a bit about this woman. You may not know her name, but you have heard her playing guitar. She is one of the most prolific studio musicians in pop music history. playing on over 10,000 recordings, including the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album. All those hot bass lines, these boots are made for walking. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's her playing bass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And as a woman back in those days, the late 50s through the 60s, 70s, being that long standing as a studio and sought after and very, very talented. I just found it interesting. I wanted to say you should check out Carol Kay. There are a couple documentaries. It's a really, really interesting story. I like that stuff. I really like that stuff. Irony, the trash men. That's right. So that's the show for tonight. Rich Walker, what's up, bro? Yeah, that's the show for tonight. I appreciate everybody listening in. If you missed the show, it'll be up. You can still watch it. I gotta get back on to putting things up on Podbean. I gotta flick that up there. Flick the bean, you know what I mean? Flick the bean, you know what I mean? Good night, bitches.
Bye, bitch.
Good night, Hyacinth. You're a sweetheart. Everybody else, I appreciate you watching. We do this every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share it with your mama because you know you wanna. Yeah. Anything else? What you say, Nicole?
Fubar out.